this video is an opportunity for me to say thank you to you. Now, I will be doing an upload with Gio tomorrow on Christmas Day. Gio uploads every Christmas Day, actually, but I've never traditionally done it, so I'm going to try and join him tomorrow, but I am doing some driving around and stuff like that, so I don't know what time it will be precisely, but just in case you missed that and maybe you're only watching this video and you might be busy tomorrow anyway, just wanted to say a massive thank you and wish you all a very, very Merry Christmas. Without you guys, you literally pay for the turkey on the table. There's no turkey. Anyway, it doesn't matter. You literally pay the bills in this house, and we very, very much appreciate it. You know, whether you're a patron and a supporter that way, or whether you just watch these videos and, you know, you have to suffer some adverts, or you're sharing the page or giving it a like, which puts it up the YouTube rankings, which in turn helps. Everything is so massively appreciated. I really enjoy reading your comments on a daily basis, and I just want to say thank you. Literally a massive, massive thank you. So I hope you have a great Christmas. Eat lots or little, whatever it is you want to do. Don't eat too much, or do. I don't know. I always eat too much and then make a New Year's resolution, which I don't keep. So maybe you're going to do that as well. So, you know, please do enjoy yourself. Have a lovely time. I just really wanted you to know that I do appreciate you all very, very much. If you're bored for something to do, my mate Canning Town Len he's got his documentary out. Go to canningtownlen.com. You can watch that documentary on there. Or if you've got Amazon Prime, it's called Academy 74. Really good story, right? Really, really good story. If you don't know it, there's a lot of famous stories around West Ham. This is not a famous one, but I think there'll be quite a few bits and pieces in there that will really surprise you. Some great stories about Bobby Moore, some great stories about Ron Greenwood and John Lyle and Billy Bonds. You'll recognise some of the players in there. Some of the players didn't make it. Some of the players didn't make it to become professional footballers. Great story, great documentary from Len. Go and give that a watch. He's got an allergy at the moment, Len. I've had it for like the past week. At this bloody lurgy. Anyway, hopefully coming through it. It's not ruined my appetite yet. Touch words. Anyway, I'll do a little bit of West Ham news now, but as I say, this really was an opportunity for me just to say thank you to you, really. But hey, look, we'll be back tomorrow, and then Sunday it all kicks off, doesn't it? So I thought, do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to upload something. So no moaning, no bleating about David Moyes or relegation or anything like that today. I'll literally read a little bit of the news, say thank you, wish you well, and then we'll catch up later on in the weekend. Okay, so the West Ham news is much of what you'd expect, really. I'll tell you what, one thing that was interesting, actually. We keep on being linked with Amrabat the Acrobat, as we like to call him, who, of course, played really, really well in the World Cup. I would love to think that we're going to go and spend money in this January window, but David Moyes has really played it down. Really played it down. But see what was interesting with Moyes was that David Moyes, he said, I think it was in an interview yesterday, that him and the board speak every 2 or 3 days. I mean, that's really interesting. I mean, that's got to be some really interesting conversations. I'd love to be a fly on the wall for that sort of stuff, I've got to say. I just think it would be awkward. There's got to be a ton of awkward conversations for... Imagine being in that dynamic where you're basically having an assessment all the time. You're not doing particularly well at the moment, and you're very aware that the guy that you're having to report to has sort of let you go in the past. I know he wasn't sacked because his contract had run out, but you know what I mean? Sullivan has let David Moyes go, so I think that's a really interesting dynamic in that relationship. Anyway, as I said, I wouldn't moan about David Moyes. I'm not going to moan about David Moyes. I wish him well, wish him a bloody Merry Christmas, and I really, really hope that he gets that monkey off his back from just trying to win against one of the top 6. It's away from home, of course. I know he's done it at home. It's a millstone around his neck. It really is, and I hope this is the time to do it. I noticed that Mikel Arteta has said, "Oh, we've got to be worried about West Ham. No, West Ham are very dangerous." I don't know how much he believes that. Do you reckon Arteta believes that? I don't know. He's got to say that, and he'll say all the right things. Actually, it was a really funny picture of it's on Football Today, and it's they look like they're about to kiss. Basically, Arteta and David Moyes in a warm embrace. They're all both saying lovely things about one another. Of course, Arteta played for David Moyes at Everton. In fact, in many respects, David Moyes is probably responsible for a lot of Arteta's career. Really, I mean, he brought him over showed him that he could play in the Premier League, and then of course he got his move to Arsenal. So I'm sure they are. I'm sure they are good mates. There's a rumour about same Vlasic rumour. It's just this one's suggesting the £12 million deal will be done in this January. That's going to make a difference as to whether we sign anyone or not. I think really the interesting story on all this was, I don't know if you saw, there was an interview with Mikel Antonio, and Antonio was saying that he's annoyed, he's upset that he hasn't been playing more. And I found, well, not the fact that he would be upset. I think he should be upset that he's not played more. But I don't think he's done brilliantly. And when he has played, I know it's hard because he's not played every game, but I think when I have seen him, he's not. Beast Mode Antonio seems a long, long time ago, doesn't it? And so whilst I can understand him being upset, I don't think he's got massive grounds for complaint, actually, because I think had his form been better, then he'd be in. And I think there's certainly been times when he should have put pressure on Scamacca, and either his form was crap or he actually wasn't fit himself anyway. Anyway, it looks like I'll do a little video on Sunday morning. It is Sunday, isn't it? I think it's Sunday. Boxing Day is when we play. On the morning of the game, I'll do a little video then, just giving a little bit of team news if I can get it before we start. But it looks like maybe Antonio and Scamacca are both going to be unavailable, which, just know what he's going to do. He's going to put Bowen and Central and probably Fornals wide. And, I could really do without all that. Another little bit of news. There's nothing massive here. It's basically, Arthur Masuaku is on loan at Besiktas. And he has confirmed that he wants to complete a permanent move in January. Let me just click on this. I don't know how much money they suggested it might be. There's no talk of money in there. I mean, he's 29, isn't he? I look, if we got £1 million for him, I think we'd have done really, really well on that, really. And to be fair, we ain't had bad service out of Masuaku when you consider that we bought him for, we buy him for 5-6 million. Got 5 years service at least out of him, haven't we? I think we've done reasonably well. We'll do the fitness updates, as I say, on the morning of the game. Do we think Agurd's going to play? Always a little bit difficult. I did read something about Ben Rama possibly not being fit. I bloody hope not. I mean, can you imagine how insipid and how weak our attack would be if we had Bowen playing up front, Fornals wide right, and basically no left wing. Oh, my word. He'd probably play Emerson there, wouldn't he? Quite possibly. Another article about David Moyes not feeling the pressure. Who knows? As I say, it's almost difficult to talk about that without digging him out. I don't want to dig him out. I want him to do well. I want him to devise a tactical plan. I want him to beat Arsenal. I want to be talking about, I've said this already, a Paqueta overhead kick to score the winner or something like that. Something brilliant. Something to start the new year really well. And it's not beyond, not new year, you know what I mean, the resumption of the season. It's not beyond the realms of possibility. When we had lockdown and football resumed again, we were pretty damn good. So maybe, just maybe, we've learnt something from then. The odds are against us. It's one of the worst, well, I think possibly the second worst game we could have coming back after Man City. And to be fair, there's not a lot between Man City and Arsenal this season anyway. So really, really tough game away from home to come back to. That's that. Merry Christmas, as I said at the start of the video, and I will look forward to seeing you possibly tomorrow. If you are busy tomorrow, then as I say, do have a really lovely Christmas day, and we will catch up on the morning of Boxing Day.